Hey everyone, I'm back for another vlog. If you don't know who I am, Dalia here. So I wanted to talk to you about anxiety. And I mentioned it probably a couple times in previous vlogs, but I want to go into it a little bit more in detail. And it's not a very easy subject to talk about because I'm certainly not proud of it. I'm not hiding it from people. I do mention to people that I have these flare-ups, but I want people to be more aware of it for a few reasons. One, if you struggle with it as well, especially if you're a business owner, I want to let you know that I also struggle with it and we're on the same team. But also that you may not have what you would call, like, I definitely have anxiety issues, right? But you may not have anxiety issues, but you may experience some, ups and downs that make you anxious, and you don't have to be diagnosed with anything just to know how you feel. And I want to bring more light to that because if you know how to kind of work with it and, calm yourself down or just know that you're not alone, I think running your own business and doing everything that comes with it would be easier. Let me explain. My phone is broken. Okay. Not my phone, but my case. I received a message today from a friend. Okay. She's also a business owner. Okay. We actually met, we met through a stationery group. She joined my group, heard how fabulous I was, and then she bought some of my webinars and I don't know, she's my friend now. We just get along really well. Anyway, so she also deals with the same issue. She happens to be my accountability buddy as well. So I chat with her every day. I check in with her every day, etc. Anyway, so I didn't check in with her yet today, which is very odd. So around 1:00 p.m., she goes, hello. I'm like, oh, hey, girl. And she voice texts me after that, something or another. Now, I want you to hear what I voice texted her back. Well, I'm actually going to only let you hear the last part. I don't know what I say in the first part, to be honest. But I'm going to let you hear the last part. Let me just pause this video for a second so I get that part ready. Okay, I'm ready. Okay, so bear with me as I'm just talking to my friend, so maybe the voice is not so clear, but you'll hear what I said to her at the end of the message. Hold on. Hold on.
That's not working. I don't know. I have to see my to-do list, but honestly, that's about it. I've had my breakdowns today already, my fair share. Anyway, what are you up to?
So if you couldn't hear what I said, yeah, that's about it. I've had my fair share of breakdowns today, Mondays are always ups and downs for me. So I was pretty much telling her that because she knows, we have our ups and downs and, some days I feel like I want to quit. Some days I feel like I'm on top of the world. Some days it's a mess, right? Sometimes. And I mentioned in a previous vlog, don't feel bad for me. I handle things fairly well. My moments, come and go very quickly. There are rare moments where I have an anxiety attack where it lasts for several hours. That doesn't feel so good. I'm still pretty much in control, which is very good, but I wouldn't worry too much. Anyway, I was mostly being funny, but I was a little stressed about something here. Mondays are always difficult, and I posted on Twitter, if you follow me on Twitter, at Dalia Mastermind, I posted on Twitter that I asked the question, should I just work alone? Should I just have no employees? And just work by myself. And somebody replied back to tweet are you okay, Dalia? I'm like, I'm okay. But sometimes I wonder if it's just better working by myself. And there's definitely pros and cons, okay? To a person who's running a business that's almost $500,000 a year, it would be impossible. It's almost impossible now. Well, let me explain. Sometimes we're behind on certain things, but not really. I think it's mostly running with the amount of people I do, I could definitely maintain my business. I don't want to maintain my business. I want to always grow, When is enough? I don't know. That's for another time we talk about it. But I think to myself, if I were to, let's just call it how it is. If I were to fire all my employees and just work by myself, it would be easy. I don't have to worry about if my husband messes up an order. I have to tell him why you have to do that. Or if my assistant, doesn't follow up with the person, and by the time my husband gets to that order, the follow-up has not been done. I want to roll my eyes. It's silly things. But I realize if I were to take control of this and not have anybody work for me, I would control it. There's a problem with that. I won't get as much done. There's a problem with that. I won't be able to grow my company. I'm not saying that people can't, let me fix my chair. I'm not saying that people can't work alone. I think it just depends on your goals for your business. I have a lot of things I'm doing and I'm very excited about doing. If I were to fire my team and only work by myself, I would have other types of anxiety attacks that I can't get everything done. You know what I'm saying? I barely get, right now I have so many ideas that I know it's going to help me move my business. And if I would be able to clone myself, I would be able to get them done and I'll be a super rock star more than I am now. If I were to fire my team, I can't even get the bare minimum done I'm doing now. So how would that make sense? I see what problem it solves regarding anxiety to have to deal with managing people, guys, is a lot of work. But it's like driving a car. You get used to it. You get used to, even after you hire your first employee, second employee, third, you get used to, like, you know, the right and wrong things you've done. Like what you do better next time around, you know? It's similar to when I first hired my first assistant. I think when I hired my second one, I know certain things I would do differently, and I have, right? So you learn. So why am I being so extreme and saying, oh, I just want to fire everyone? I think it was mostly, somebody mentioned in a comment in one of these vlogs recently that I just need a break. But I'll tell you something. I might need a break, but I feel like I get more breaks than the average folk, you know, during the year. But maybe not regular breaks. So like, let's talk about, well, we're about to end this year soon. Let's talk about this year. I went to New York. I went to, where else did I go? I went to a couple places. Did I go to Disney World this year? No, that was last year. No, maybe it was this year. What? What did I do in March? Listen, don't make me think back. I know I travel. And I know I travel maybe more than the average person. I know I could pick myself up and go more than the average person. So I wouldn't have that freedom if I didn't have employees. So I do take my breaks, you know, but maybe they shouldn't be my breaks are like in the summer, right? Or spring break, but maybe they should be regularly throughout the year. I wouldn't have a schedule for it per se, because when I experience a big section of like adrenaline and I want to work, I don't question it. I work. Like sometimes I'm in the office until like 6, 7. Don't question it. I work. Because sometimes, guys, I don't want to be in the office even past 3. So I go with it. But there may be something to it. Maybe I have to take a little bit more breaks so I don't feel overwhelmed. Like today, it lasted just for a second. I was just like, I don't want to be here. Literally just for a second. I thought to myself, I don't want to have to manage anybody right now. I just want to print, or I want something to, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I want just the job to be done, and that's it. Like, I don't want to think about strategies. I didn't want my brain to work. I wanted just to do, not to actually, like, think and work. Is that a sign of being overwhelmed? Maybe. But again, I learned how to deal with it. So, I'm like, this is like just touching the subject of anxiety for me. So again, I have my ups and downs throughout the week. Sometimes I go through huge buckets of time where I don't have any issues. And sometimes it peaks and peaks, you know, in my life. And sometimes, you know, very rarely does it peak and then last for several hours. Okay? Things that cause me anxiety, I'll list them for you right now. And I'll try my best to remember what they are. 1, managing people. Depending on what the problem is, if there's a problem. Okay? It's not easy to work with a family member. In my case, it's a husband. Most of the time, there's no problems. I mentioned that in a previous vlog. But when it comes to a problem, it's annoying, you know? I mean, you name it. I mean, after work, we see each other downstairs again. It's like, you know, you can't separate it. You know, earlier, hold on. Did I get an Etsy message? Okay. Earlier, he came back from dropping things on the post office, and he was in this car for 45 minutes. I called him, I'm like, get your butt up here. I need you to do something for me, you know? And sure, you know, he wouldn't do it with a regular employer, but he was in a phone call. It was a personal phone call that, you know, he really needed to stay on it. And I understand that. But nonetheless, if he was working for an employer, he would have told the person, like, hey, let me call you back after work, or never probably even answered the call, you know? So So that's that, managing employees. Another thing is, I mentioned this particular piece is managing a WordPress site. I don't wish it upon my worst enemy. Please, 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 if you learn anything from my vlogs, actually, there's quite a few things I want you to learn, but one of them is not to have your own WordPress site. Please have Shopify. If you're not quite ready for the price that, that comes with it, do a Squarespace site. If you're not quite ready to do a Squarespace site because it doesn't give you the personalizations that you need, like the customizations that you need to actually sell your product, then I would hold off until you could afford a Shopify. There are plans on Shopify that are really, really affordable. If you are unsure, chat with the representative on Shopify, okay? Tell them your budget, tell them what's going on, tell them what you need, etc. Okay? You get a 14 free day trial or something like that. So you could certainly test it out. Again, guys, and here's why. Let me explain why before I go into my next thing that causes me anxiety. Because in a WordPress site, there's a lot of pieces that you have to learn how to maintain on your own. Unless you want to hire somebody, which that in itself is very stressful, because to hire somebody, not only do you have to pay them for that, but you have to trust them. They have to work on your timeline, and that's so stressful to me. I'll elaborate on this WordPress thing. I used to have a WordPress guy. I will not speak ill of him, but, he has fallen ill and became very, very unreliable. Now, I know the falling ill part, it does not mean you should ignore me completely I know you see my Facebook messages, and there's a few other things that really went south with that relationship. So I immediately moved, and when I found another WordPress guy, I immediately moved off my site from his hosting, and now I'm on my own hosting that I pay for. Nobody's hosting except my own that I have access to, and I have another WordPress guy. And so far it's working out fine, so this is great. Guys, the stress I've dealt with my website, from building it, okay, so again, if you know what it is that causes me stress about the website? The lack of control that I have. Okay, when I built the website with the web designer, okay, again, communication issues, a lot of issues, okay, honestly, I don't think she'll be seeing these vlogs. I don't recommend her, okay, there's a lot of issues. At one point, I did recommend her because I didn't know any better. And now me and that person are we did have issues, anyway. So of course, not building your own website, not that we all have time for it, but not building your own site, lack of control is really frustrating. Not being able to maintain your own site and do changes that you want, very frustrating. That's why I love Shopify. And guys, I am not particularly affiliated with them. Like, I don't get money for saying this. Like, I don't even use them. Like, I use WordPress, but I learn from my experience. I want to teach you from my experience. If you want to know more about it, comment below and I'll be happy to elaborate. But having that control eases my anxiety. Having lack of control, if you know yourself, listen up. Having that lack of control gives me more anxiety. I need to be able to, I need to be able to change things when I want it changed. Yes, I don't have a lot of time. Granted. So me hiring out for people to do it is probably more likely, but I don't want to hire out because I'm unable to do it on my own. I want to hire out because I don't have time to do it on my own, but I'm capable to do it. Like, I understand how to. That's a problem I have with WordPress. I don't understand how to do a lot of things. Some things. Okay? Some really important things. Okay? There's certain things I could do, optimizing my page speed, that I know, but not like the detailed things that have to do with JavaScript and all this. I don't have to deal with that if you are on Shopify. Again, I don't get nothing for saying this about them. I really recommend them if you want control. If you know, that something's affecting your life, I think everybody's like this, and you don't have control of it, doesn't that cause you stress or anxiety or whatever you want to call it? Depending on how you handle it, you may want to not put that in your life and just go straight to Shopify. Now, the Shopify, this anxiety that people get caused with even Shopify, they don't know how to do certain things that they want a certain product to function in a certain way or whatever. I get that. There's always going to be problems with anything you do. But it's almost like comparing my life to somebody that lives in a third world war country, right? I have my problems, but when I compare to theirs, it's nothing, right? Same thing with Shopify. Consider yourself lucky that when choosing it, you may have some frustrations with it, But just know that it'd probably be worse off if you had WordPress. And you probably will never know of that if you never choose WordPress. Just trust me, guys. You know how you have like plugins that do certain functions in your website? Well, on WordPress, if those plugins update, you have to update them, right? But if you update them and they don't work well with your WordPress version 2.0 or 3.0, then they won't work properly in your site, and you have to test it. You have to take it away. It's just like, it's crazy. Okay. You can see how much stress that causes me. Other things that cause me anxiety is not keeping up, and this is just, I'm just letting it all out, not keeping up with the things I want to do. So I really have it under control when it comes to goal planning. I've talked about it many times. If you're new and you're watching this, check out my Facebook Lives with my Facebook group. I have a link down below for the group. Check it out, okay? Search in the search bar of my group for goal planning or something, and you'll see them. I'm very good at it, so I get a lot of things accomplished, especially I have a team working with me, I know. But, even with the maximum we get accomplished, you know what it is, guys? I want everything on my to-do list done by tomorrow. Well, no, I know I can't. I know that realistically I can't do that. But I wish, right? But we realistically have to accept that we can't get it all done by tomorrow. So I'm already over this. Like, I don't have issues with this anymore, anxiety, like issues, but I used to, so I'm just mentioning it. I'm much better at understanding what could be accomplished and accepting it. Now, I am in a position where I'm making a lot of money, so, everything's fine and dandy. But some of you may be in a position where you're not making a lot and you need to make a lot. For whatever reason, supporting a family, paying a certain bill that's coming over your head, I don't know. If you are in that position, there's certainly, depending on where your business is, there's certain techniques to get you out of position where you're making money. It could be work on your SEO. It could be something that does things immediately, sure. But it just depends on your situation. It will vary. I'd recommend just getting a part-time job if you're really dying to get some things done because of money, like super, super bootstrapped for money. Or skip that. Go in your house and sell things that you don't need anymore, okay? I'm very minimalistic, in my opinion, and I could probably still find things in my house I could sell, literally, okay? I'm not here to give you financial advice. What I'm here to tell you is that I have a lot of things I want to do. I have to accept that I can't do them all tomorrow or in a week from now. I goal plan and accept. I have to mentally accept, okay, I can't do it all. Now, I do push myself to the max, right? And this is where my anxiety comes from. I goal plan just fine, but my anxiety comes from pushing myself to the max. Throughout the year with you guys, Handmade Mastermind crew, I do multiple things throughout the year for you guys regarding new content. I do, webinars. I either upgrade webinars or put out new ones. Next year, I think I'm only going to do one new webinar, which is a Pinterest one. It's going to be a very, very big deal. I do Facebook Lives every morning. I have a lot I'm doing. And so I always talk about productivity and being efficient with your time. I'm very efficient with my time. And that could be a problem because then I could get burned out faster than the average person watching this. Okay? But again, I'll talk to you about this toward the end of this video, what I have done, techniques I've done to actually help me with my anxiety, with these burnout times and with whatever. Okay? And literally, I have legit techniques, and they may not work for you, but they work for me. So, I have to realize that's maybe in 2018 that I can't do everything, and that my growth has, I'll tell you right now. Let me write this down so I know. Was it 119? Yeah, 119. What was all the 220? And then last year, 302. Okay, I'm not going to sit here and do the math and percentage. I'll just give you the numbers. Last year, in 2016, I did 302,000. This year, the year before, 2015, I did 220. It was like 219, okay? Yeah, it was 219. And then the year before, 2014, hold on, let me write these down. 2014 was around 119. Okay? Was it? 109? 119. This year, so 2017, I'm on track to do around 400 grand. Okay? So you do the math. From 119 to 220, I increased 100,000. Then from 220 to 302, I increased a little bit less than 100,000. like 82, like 83,000 or something, okay? Then 302 to 400, I increase about 100 grand. So that's a lot of money, you know? So I have to accept, if I want to re-strategize in 2018 and not be so stressed about being burned out often and doing it, you know, being super, super efficient and, you know, whatever, I have to be okay with not making 100 grand over. Now, by the way, guys, not everybody will experience this type of growth. You know, even if I were to still max out my efficiency, maybe I won't next year make, you know, from 400 to 500. I won't keep, you know, reaching 100 grand and going over 100 grand. You know, so eventually, yes, it'll start to slow down depending on strategies you're working on. But I maybe have to accept the fact that I don't need to do 100 grand. I will tell you secretly that when this year is over, I would love to do 500,000 in 2018. It's mostly because that number is cool, right? I don't know if I'm going to reach it. I haven't finished my goal planning yet. I haven't finished my, you know, financial planning yet. That's another piece of my goal planning that I don't really talk about, but maybe I will. Maybe I'll do it in a vlog, show you how I financial plan. Pretty much how I goal myself, how much money I'm going to do. Anyway, so as I realize I don't need to do that. That's something I have to work on. Is the lighting okay in here? I just feel like I look dim, even though I have new lighting. I don't know. Anyway, so what else is causing me anxiety? Sometimes when so I'm a lot better at this, but I want to say something that used to cause me a lot of anxiety. Customer issues. Now, I barely get any, which, thank goodness, knock on wood for me. But I mentioned in a previous vlog that when those come, I handle it. Now, let me explain how I handle it. This is not something I recommend for everyone. It just depends. But a customer messages me, and I'm giving you an example. She messaged me and goes, "Hey, you misspelled this name." I look at it. I didn't misspell the name. She did. She explains that it was autocorrect. Again, I'm making up an example story. If it's one set and she's upset about it, and she still comes back after I explained to her that she could purchase, I'll give her 20% off because, you know, mistakes happen. She's upset. She's like, "It was not me. It was autocorrect." Some nonsense. Depending on how large the order is, if it's a really small one, I'd probably reprint. Especially if it's an autocorrect situation, there's certain things that I definitely take responsibility for. If a package arrives damaged, even though I didn't damage it, USPS did, that is absolutely no doubt within my mind. I give them another order. But there's certain things that seem like stressful situations, and I value my time and I value my health when it comes to anxiety. So when anxiety levels peak, if it's going to cost me in paper and envelopes, $5, $6, $7, $8 in total, take it. Now, that does not mean people could come to me and abuse me. I have told people no, believe it or not. I have worked with them and not given them a solution of 100%, refund or 100%, reship. Okay, so there are certain techniques and strategies that I do that I won't let anxiety get over me, and I take care of the customer, but I also do something that works for both of us. Okay? Because it's just a matter of principle, and it's not a matter of principle like the autocorrect thing. Most people probably wouldn't redo their order, but I have a huge repeat client business. If I'm gonna do an order like that and reprint it, I would absolutely make it very clear that I got her back. So not only do I get reprint her order, that she's very impressed with the way I told her I'm gonna redo it. I'm like, you know what? I understand that problems happen, and that damn autocorrect also gets me too. No worries, I'll reprint and ship. So I want credit for my customer service, not just the reship. Because I've seen people reship orders, but the person's still pissed because of how they treated them in messages. So if I'm gonna go ahead and, make the customer happy, I'm gonna make them customer happy all the way around. Okay? Anyway, so I take care of customer issues. Now, let's talk about Handmade Mastermind for a second. Do you guys cause me anxiety? A little. Not because you guys are bad folk, but because it's just my nature. Here's my nature. I'm a very honest person. If you haven't told by now, if you don't follow me on Facebook, If you're not in my group and you don't know that much about me, just know that. And you could come to your own conclusion. That's fine. I'm a very honest person. I want to be a very helpful person. I do these vlogs because I enjoy it, but I mostly talk about business stuff because I know there's somebody out there watching that is going to find this information useful. And they take this information, whether it's this vlog or another vlog, and they use it in their own business, in their own life, and that makes their life and business better. Even if they watch my vlogs every day and they do nothing with them, but it gives them motivation, I made their lives better. It's important to me. And important to me because I hear stories all the time of how I help people and how I change their lives and yada, yada, yada. And it's like a drug for me. So do I do it for my own self and my ego? Sure. But I know it's helping you. So I love it. And everybody does stuff because in the end of the day it makes them feel good. Even if you do something that hurts you, knowing that it helped your loved ones also makes you feel good. So regardless, it's how human nature works. Point is, I do all this to help you guys. So in turn, what causes me anxiety? When members are not particularly unhappy with me. I don't really get many issues, thank goodness, of people being unhappy with me or whatever. I think most people understand I'm very, very busy, so if I don't respond to your messages immediately, I think they understand. They re-tag me in them or they re-message me and go, I know you're busy, here you are. Please do that, by the way. If you're like, yep, that happens to me, you don't message me back. It is not intentional. I've become, like, the Handmade Mastermind has become much more popular over the years, and I try to be very approachable, where you could understand that you could message me, but I mean, not message me to get help that you would otherwise pay for, no. But you know what I'm saying? Like if you lost access to your webinar and you don't know how to get back access or something of the sort, just know that I try to be very helpful. So when and if a member is not very happy with something or, they don't understand how to use a certain part of the webinar to get results, they're not saying anything bad about me. It upsets me and it makes me question like life. Right? Ridiculous. I know I'm extreme. I really do this because I really love it. And when let's say a member is like, oh, I tried to implement this and it hasn't worked yet. And I'm like, ugh. Let me see what's going on. So I'm like, okay, how long did you implement it for? A week ago? Okay, hold your horses. You just did it a week ago. So things like that get me upset and give me anxiety because I love you guys. I do, but unrealistic expectations make me feel upset, and I want to help you, and that's why it upsets me, because I love you guys, and I want only the best for you, literally. So when you tell me you only did it a week ago, I'm like, listen, Sally, you did it a week ago. What do you want? Like, if you really felt like it was going to be happening for you sooner, then I'm sorry. Yes, there's some members that get pretty much instant results from a lot of my webinars, but that's not the norm. And technically it feels like the norm because a lot of people will put reviews in the group and say, oh my God, how great my webinars are. But you should use that for motivation, not expectations. Okay. But yes, depending on your market, it could happen very quickly. Or when they message me and say, yeah, I used to make so much money and now my shop is literally dead. I'm like, oh, I have to help this person. Poor person. Like they're using this money to help their family and now the shop is dead. What's happening? Did it imply something correctly? Is it Etsy fooling with them? What is it? I look, and the shop is not dead. I'm like, so you mean when you say your shop is dead that you don't like you're making $3,000 a month and you want to make more? They're like, well, actually, as example, I used to make 5, now it's down to 3. Well, that's actually a decent amount going down. So I say, okay, well, talk to me about your product, blah, blah, blah. Realize that the product is out of season now. So first of all, there's always an answer to everything. You may not know the answer. I may know it for you, or I may not know the answer. But it stresses me out when people are so dramatic. That's what it is. And it's not intentional. Like they're being dramatic is not intentional. Sometimes they really feel like, oh my God, business has dropped. What do I do? And I'm like, I don't know, I feel solely responsible. Not that, like, in the Handmade Mastermind basic group, the free group, I'm not responsible for everybody. You guys are responsible for your own, businesses. And I think you all know that. But I feel responsible, even though I know I'm not. Like, I see a post, like, help, how come I'm not being found in search? My heart drops. And even if they didn't even buy my webinar, it doesn't even matter if they bought it. I feel still responsible to help them. And that causes me anxiety. So again, most of my anxiety with Handmade Mastermind is not really directly because of you guys or anything you're doing wrong or saying wrong. It's just because I want to help everybody. And it's like, the type of people that want to help everybody and they can't. they get upset or they get stressed, That's who I am. And I think there's pros and cons to that. I think the pros to that is it starts to catch on. People understand that Dalia, the Handmade Mastermind, is out to help people. And it starts to snowball. Like, people start to come to my group and they realize, because, those are the type of coaches, so, similar to me, that people talk about in a good way. And that's how people find my group, because I become viral. Like, the name Handmade Mastermind becomes viral. So there's some pros to it, but the cons are when the camera's not rolling, I have my moments. And, I get stressed because, you guys, I get so many notifications. Let me see. When was the last time I checked my notifications? I don't remember. Particularly on Facebook. I can't even show you now because there's some private things I don't want to show you, but the notifications on Facebook. I wake up and there's like, how the Facebook icon has like a little number next to it? It has like, what's that guy? Oh, that's their new baby? She's so cute. Okay, anyway. Sorry. So when I wake up, sometimes I have like 30, 40 notifications. Now, yes, not all of them are from you guys, obviously. I belong to other groups, particularly personal ones, things of interest to me, etc. So sometimes when you tag me in something, I don't see it. And it can really be buried. And I can't particularly go through all my groups and look and scan and try to find something I'm tagged in, because what if you didn't tag me in a post? What if you tagged me in the comments? That's harder, guys. I mean, I love you guys, but that's a lot of freaking work. The private groups are different. I'm trying to get better at it. So if you're watching this and you're like, yes, you could be better at it. I know. I don't think I'm horrible at it, but sometimes the notifications get missed. And that's the only reason why I don't get back to people, let's say, within a few hours, 24 hours. But I get so many notifications. The point of the story is, I get so many notifications that I miss some. And I feel like, for example, let's call one of the members Sally. I feel bad for Sally that she's eventually tagged me again and think that I'm ignoring her, or that I have bigger, better things to do, or that I'm not prioritizing her help, or something. Just know that if you're watching this and if you're any more of my groups paid for, even for, free, it doesn't matter. Just know that if I don't write back to you, it's probably because I missed it. And because I literally didn't see it, so it wasn't even a question of, am I ignoring you or not? And please, for the sake of my anxiety, tag me again in it and say, Dalia, I know you're busy. Just want to tag you again. No worries. Just don't make me feel bad about it. Not that anybody ever does. Just saying. They might just tag me again, say, tag down when you get a chance. That's fine by me. I just want you to be more understanding. And again, I never had any issues, but I worry that you on the other side of the screen are probably rolling your eyes at me and wondering, where am I? Like, I don't want you to worry. Like, if you look, I'm not going to make excuses, but if you literally see my workday, it is jam-packed. And now I have my daughter. She goes to pre-K. So pre-Ks are half day here, right, in Katy, Texas. So she comes home at 11, and literally, guys, it's back and forth, up and down stairs. It kind of kills it kills my mojo, and it's going to kill my mojo until she goes to kindergarten next year. But we made that decision, me and my husband. So it's whatever. It's whatever, So yeah, guys, if you love me, which I know you do if you're watching this, give me a break. And not in a bad way, like, not like you're not giving me a break already, but just know, like, just give me the benefit of a doubt. That's what I do. I do it for the most part, I do it for my members. I do it for people in life in general. I'm a big believer in benefit of a doubt, even if it's something that's really outrageous. And I'm not going to even give examples right now, but benefit of the doubt. So you know what? Maybe she's really busy, or maybe her daughter's sick today and she's taking care, like, don't make excuses for me, but just understand sometimes I go through things. And, in the weekend it's a little harder for me to respond back because I'm doing multiple things. So I'm just leave it at that. Another thing that gives me anxiety is a lack of personal time I have, because work is full time, obviously. Work is full time, 40 hours, a little bit more sometimes. Like today's vlog is really just going over. So over the course of a week, 40 hours-ish, and then kids have soccer and kids have swimming, and probably I think it's next week we have a meetup in the school for teacher parent whatever, and that's like whatever, that's only happens like once. And then I have to cook, and then I have to clean, and then I have to watch my shows at night, okay? And it piles up. Like, I have this book I recently bought, I'll share it with you later, that I'm dying to read. when do I have a chance to sit down and read? So what I do, I got Audible. I got Audible from Amazon. And now when I go for my walks, I listen, which is like reading, and it still fills my soul similarly. So I'm fine with that. I'm fine that I don't physically read, that I listen. But sometimes I can't go for my walks. Now, recently I haven't been able to because our schedules have been chaos because my daughter's times for practicing soccer have increased, and a lot has going on with that. But what gives me anxiety is that, like, I haven't read that book yet, and I know it's really good. Like, I know guys, I know it's really good. It's about branding. I can't wait to share it with you after, of course, I read it. So that's that. And what else? What else I have on my list? Like, personal things I want to do. Like, see, right now, guys, I love you guys, but everyone's like tagging me and stuff right now. And I love you. It's not a bad thing. I just can't get back to you. Like, after this vlog, I gotta, like, go downstairs and make dinner. It's just like, it never ends. Anyway, what else did I want to do personally? So reading books. I want to use Pinterest for fun again. Right? I want to use Pinterest for fun again. I use it for business. Okay? I'm a wizard at it. But I want to use it for fun again. I want to find inspirational things. I want to... You guys know what I'm saying, right? And so you might say, okay, the solution is simple. An outsider could tell me. So if you have a solution, go ahead. Because I know the solution, but sometimes when you're living it, it's hard to see the light at the end of the tunnel. The solution is to work less. I'm making plenty of money. So if I were to work less, I'm still going to make plenty of money. But what does work less mean? Do I take an extra day off? Do I work until 3 o'clock every day? I don't know the answer. There's that baby again. It's my neighbor's kid. I don't know the answer. But I will tell you this. Recently, because my daughter has increased her times for soccer, my husband takes him to soccer practice. So that gives me more time by myself in the house. So that's cool. It's a recent change. It's like a week ago change. So that's cool. I did tell my husband last night that I haven't been walking, and he started to give me solutions. I'm like, the solutions are not going to work. Then I was like, you know what? It's not fair that you get to go to the gym like 4 days a week, and I get to never walk. And the times you go to the gym is the time I want to go for my walk. So we worked on a solution. We're going to start it very soon. So anyway, I got to just recognize the issues when it comes to and by the way, guys, when I say less personal time, I am very lucky. Maybe I'm just like pushing it and being spoiled. I used to work nights and weekends when I used to be in retail. I don't work nights and weekends anymore. Rarely. I mean, once in a while, I might have to peek upstairs on a Saturday, once in a while, whatever. In holiday season, I absolutely have to work 6 days a week, but I'm very lucky. So maybe guys, can you tell me in the comments, am I being spoiled? Just be honest. And you don't have to use the word spoiled, because I don't work nights and weekends. I think some of you do. So, but here's the thing. I don't work nights and weekends, sure, but the second my work day is over, let's say 5 o'clock usually, I go downstairs, I start cooking, and I love cooking, so it's not a thing. I'm taking care of the kids, I'm like cleaning up, I'm eating, I'm dying. I love my shows, guys. I love my shows. So, every time my husband will put our shows on, and then, we snack on something like some dessert, like, that's my private time I love. I want more of it. And it may just be those things that, like on the weekend, guys, I don't really do much. And I should probably start utilizing my weekends more. Maybe that's my solution. Maybe I had an epiphany right now. Utilizing my weekends more. In fact, okay, Google, can you remind me tomorrow morning to think about how I use my weekends?
Okay, do you want to save this?
She didn't listen to me correctly. Okay, Google, can you remind me tomorrow morning to think about how I use my weekend time?
Okay, do you want to save this?
Yes.
Okay. Reminder saved.
So this is what I do. Okay, so when I think of something that's like genius, like this, even though it's simple, I tell Google to remind me. So then when I'm always busy, but it'll remind me until I click on it, done. So then I can sit there and think, okay, let me plan my weekends with my family. Now, even if it's not family time, even if it's like, I want to sit down and read a book for a few hours, or I want to go to like the local Starbucks, like, it's fine. Like my kids, like my husband will handle the kids. It's fine, It's like I read a book or you name it. I always utilize my weekends better. So I want to think about that. So I put that down for later. Because I don't want this like brilliant idea, even though it's simple, to go away. I want to remind me every single day. And it will until I hit done. Okay. What else causes me anxiety? I don't know. That's the majority of it. Now let me talk about really quickly, because I'm hitting 40 minutes now, what I do to take away my anxiety. I mentioned customers. I just handle the customer. I mentioned that already. Another thing is, a lot of times, depending on the problem, I always tell myself, okay, there are people like, okay, for example, I have anxiety over financial planning when it comes to our retirement. I'm working on that, by the way. I talked to actually a couple members about it. I will be doing some really great retirement plans before the end of the year. Now, I mean, starting it. So put that aside. You're more than welcome to still lecture me in the comments, but, give me ideas, but still. I have anxiety about it. And I think to myself, okay, Dalia, calm yourself. There are people out there that, like right now you have a savings that you're able to take a big chunk of money and put into a Roth IRA or whatever. Some people don't. Some people don't even have money to put into anything. They live paycheck to paycheck. So what I like to do, and this may come off as mean, I love you guys, but I don't care if you judge me. It's just what I do to relieve my stress. I think to myself, there are people worse off than me. And what happens is it makes me appreciate more. And this is also other things, like things for my house. Like, oh man, I really want to, actually I don't really want anything to be to my house, but like, for example, if I really wanted to upgrade my backyard and I don't have the time or money for it yet, I think to myself, calm yourself. If it gives me anxiety, calm yourself down. There's some people that don't even have a house, don't have any place to live. I think about people overseas. I think about people like in, certain countries. I think about, for example, I had a little stress, not much. It was like here and gone, maybe because I handled it fine. But when Hurricane Harvey hit, our sales slowed down a little bit on Amazon, but it wasn't like a big deal. But it definitely was noticeable a little bit. And my husband's like, whatever, Hurricane Harvey. I'm like, you know what? It's all right. Because some people were in worse positions where they literally had their home taken away from them because of the hurricane. Have no idea how they're going to, like, when they return back to home. You name it, right? So I think, okay, I'm lucky. So what? I lost. I don't know how much I lost, guys. Sales are always ups and downs every day. But let's just say I lost several hundreds. Let's say I lost $500 or $1,000. Okay, I could have had extra $1,000 in my pocket, sure, but I have my home. So I always compare myself to others, and I know that doesn't sound like a smart thing to do, but it only just helped really quickly to help me appreciate what I have. Okay? Not compare myself so I could be jealous of them, right? Because I think that's very hazardous, but almost like appreciate what you have. And I do that often. And I'm not saying that doing that often enough where you literally get left with nothing. Like, oh, don't buy that new book. Most people don't have books. I don't do that with everything, okay? When things cause me anxiety and I can't change something, I do it. So help me relieve my stress. Okay, this is a big part. This little tactic is a huge part of relieving my stress. Now, would it work for you? I don't know. You could try it, but you have to really put yourself in the mindset of the other person that doesn't have it. Because technically speaking, if I were to take you out of your home and put you in a person's shoes that had no home anymore because of Hurricane Harvey, you'd absolutely feel different than just imagining it, correct? Feel that. Because if you do this exercise and you still are like, no, I don't care, I lost too much money and I'm not on the top of search anymore and blah, 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 then you probably didn't do the exercise correctly. You probably didn't really feel the way, or you have trouble with empathizing with people. Sympathizing? Empathizing? I don't know. You have trouble with that. So it works for me. I'm mentioning it to you because it may work for you, but this is how I handle my stress and my anxiety. So if you see I have my ups and downs every day and you might say, Dalia, I'm worried about Dalia. It looks like she's about to explode. No, I handle things. I handle things fairly quickly. There's only, again, rarely do I have episodes where I can't handle it. For the most part, I do. Okay? I'm thirsty because I've been talking a long time. I'm at 45 minutes now, and I feel like I covered quite a bit when it comes to my anxiety. And I have to wrap it up because I do have to start dinner because I am hungry. I might even eat a sandwich before I even eat my dinner. I might eat dinner a little bit later tonight. But I I don't think there's an easy solution to taking away the thing that causes me anxiety, because there's pros to the things that cause me anxiety. So you might say, Dad, is it worth the pros? Meaning, like, if I have employees, if I didn't have employees, I would have a huge business with only me running it. That would cause me anxiety. So that would mean, okay, take away the huge business. Like, don't make as much money. And not making as much money, it wouldn't cause me anxiety per se, but I'm used to making a lot and putting away. The reason why I do that, the reason why I make so much money, well, obviously, because I have a good business, but the reason why I goal myself to, because I don't want to have to worry about finances. I paid off my home in the beginning of the year and my car. My husband's about to buy a new car. He's paying off in cash. We don't have to pay it off in cash, but we want to. We might, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to have to worry about living paycheck to paycheck. Like, God forbid if Hurricane Harvey did take away my home. Obviously, we have insurance, but you know what I'm saying? But if something happened devastating, whatever, we have a savings that we could go into and not have to worry. Some people around the Houston area are figuring out how to pay off the missed months of mortgage if they weren't able to work. I don't have to worry about that if that ever happened to me, because I have money saved. So by taking away my employees and lowering my workloads, I could actually handle it as one person. I take away the pros of having the extra money. And the pros of having the extra money, besides being safe, financially safe, is also being able to go on trips if I want to, enjoy my life. I don't have to go on trips and stuff like that to enjoy my life, but we have that option. Does that make sense? I think it does, right? Anyway, I'm going to wrap it up here, guys. I just kind of talked everybody's ear off. But I want to let you in on my little life. I may do like a part 2 of anxiety, because things may come up that I might think of that I didn't think of today. But I hope you found this video useful. I hope it provided you some insight into my life, because you might think, oh, everything's fine and dandy, but it's not always. But I'm very strategic in the things I do, so I literally thought of things to help me ease it. And that could mean, by the way, guys, and I talked about strategies. I didn't finish talking about the other strategies. Let me say it really quick. The other strategy I have is doing things I absolutely love. So if I want to eat, like, half a pint or a pint, I don't know how big that is, of ice cream that I absolutely love, that my husband go outside and get me some ice cream. So there's certain things that I default to that makes me feel good, and I go to it. Even if that means, I'm going to meet my sister this weekend. I'm excited. It makes me excited. So I'll do it. If it means buying a new book that I'm absolutely excited about getting, I'll do it. So there's other ways for me to manage my anxiety. Yeah. Anyway, guys, I'll wrap it up here. Hope you enjoyed. Make sure you hit the like button. Subscribe if you like this video, and if you'd like to see other videos from me, make sure you hit the notifications button so you get a notification when I post. And that's it. Comment below if you have anything to say. Okay, guys? I will see you tomorrow. Bye.